Ukraine's capital Kyiv has been hit by the first Russian air attack in 52 days, according to city officials. Writing on the Telegram messaging app, Kyiv's Mayor Vitali Klitschko said, "Strong explosions were heard in the early hours of Saturday morning. Preliminary information suggests air defense systems were able to intercept the missiles," Mr. Klitschko said. Residents have been ordered to take refuge in air raid shelters. There have been no initial reports of casualties following the air attack, according to news agency Reuters. The strikes came as President Volodymyr Zelensky marked the first anniversary of the liberation of Kherson from Russia. Speaking to the city's residents, he praised them for inspiring the world with their resistance. In Odesa, the coastal district some 275 miles (442 kilometers) from Kyiv, there were reports of at least 2 missile attacks. According to the region's head of administration, Oleg Kipper, 3 people were injured and a 96-year-old woman was hospitalized. Her condition is understood to be stable. On Wednesday, Ukrainian officials said at least 1 person had been killed after a Russian missile struck a civilian ship entering Odesa. A 43-year-old harbor pilot died, while 3 Filipino crew members and a port worker were injured. At a G7 meeting in Japan this week, foreign ministers from Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Canada and the US, as well as EU representatives, said they recognized that Russia is prepared for a long war in Ukraine. They also said the Israel-Gaza war should not distract from support for Ukraine and reiterated that they would continue to support Kyiv economically and militarily. Kyiv is increasingly concerned about Ukraine fatigue among Western countries eroding its ability to hold off Russian forces. Speaking exclusively to the BBC's Europe editor, Katja Adler, French President Emmanuel Macron said it was his country's duty to help Ukraine. He said if Russia were allowed to win its war, you will have a new imperial power in Europe that could threaten other former Soviet states like Georgia and Kazakhstan, as well as the whole continent. Because, definitely, it's imperialism and colonialism that Russia is doing in Ukraine, he said. However, Mr. Macron did suggest there may come a time for fair and good negotiations with Moscow.